Hi guys, how you doing? So, wow, I got a lot to talk about, and let me start. I wrote it down. So I'm pretty excited the excitement is coming like slowly. I'm very happy. Of course, you can see that in my smile. Um, so yes, okay, where do I start with all of this? A lot of people are worried about me. They are worried that, I don't know, maybe because they read my book and they saw the challenges there, and uh, living in a Gujarati community was pretty hard for me. Yeah, it was. But I see this as an opportunity now when I think about it, because I have no choice but to look at the positive, and I'm not going to look at the negative. And if I'm writing all these articles, I should be the example. And it's not difficult to think positive, because, especially from the life that I lived. So, where do I start? Okay, right, I got all my points here. Why this is all meant to be, and I must write an article that's along these lines, is because, firstly, on Friday, I went to do shopping where I bought this and I bought this because I lost my hat, I lost my sunglasses last year. And so, yes, I went shopping and I was in like a scattered, I was all scattered, and I had my train ticket with me on the way back. I don't know what I did with it, no idea. But anyway, when I came through to the place where I had to put it in so I can exit, or I would get fined or whatever, I couldn't find a ticket, but I had my receipt in my pocket. So I took my receipt out and I told the guy, look, I don't know what I did with my ticket, but here's my receipt. I can show proof that I bought the return too, and he let me go. And that's the first time I've ever had to do that I remember, because I'm lucky that I kept the receipt in my pocket. I didn't know where the ticket was. So that was one miracle on Friday. And he was a nice guy. He was so nice. Second miracle was the next day when I went to see my crew, where I get my mentorship from and where I made some good friends. I went to London, and I was a bit concerned about the price I was going to pay, because obviously I'm saving the pennies. And I ended up getting this. So look, I waited in the counter, waited in the queue for the service to go to the counter, but there was only one man serving at the counter. So I then waited, and this other man who worked for the railway, he said, he was standing there, he was looking at the machine, and he said, why isn't this machine working? He was said, then he said, I know why. So he then said, okay, I'll serve some of you guys. So he had his portable ticket machine, and then it came to my turn, and I had to take a different direction to go to the to the event in Heathrow. So the guy said, where do you need to go? And I was thinking, now do I have to pay more because the return is the next day and I'm staying over? And I really was a bit concerned that this is going to be a bit expensive than my budget. And then the guy said, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to Burnham and I need to get to this destination. He said, oh my God, I used to live there. That fish and chips shop was around the corner from my house, as if I lived there, but I didn't live there, of course. So he gave me a really cheap fare with a return that I would pay for a day return to come back from where I live right now into Heathrow area, and the same day he gave me that price for returning the next day. So that was a sign that I needed to be where I needed to be. And then I met, so when I was at the event, I looked at this one guy and something said I need to speak to him. Intuition, maybe. But then a number of people came to talk to me, which I was glad to see. All these ladies, my friends, they came to speak to me, and I couldn't speak to the guy because I was about to launch myself to go and speak to him, but I then got all this. My friends came, so then I said, okay, I'm sure I'll get a chance to speak to him, I don't know. But then I then saw my friends and had dinner with them and spoke to some of them, and couldn't speak to everyone, of course, and I was a bit nervous to see so many people. And then when my friends left, because they were tired, they were going to their room, and I had to be like Cinderella to leave at 11:30 or so, before the last bus stops service, and then there is the overnight bus, but I didn't want to go through that whole thing. So then they said they're going, and I had about an hour, so I thought I'll just go and stroll around and I don't know, just see how I feel. And then I walked around, and then I looked at some people, and then I didn't feel like I really needed to say something with them. Not that there was something wrong, more like a feeling. So I went then to walk around a little bit, and then I saw the guy that I needed to speak to. That start of that conversation was a bit weird with him, must say. But then I got to ask my questions, and we don't know where this is going to go with me being in South Africa, because I knew he had kind of contacts in South Africa, and I want to be surrounded by the people who think like me, because I want to raise South Africa's standard after what he said to me. And he said to me that the public speaking trainings and stuff in South Africa have very low standards. And lucky I got mentorship from the Toastmasters guy from here. He said he's going to offer his services to me for free to help me, and so I'm going to use. And then when I told him this whole conversation and stuff that I had with the other guy, and the standards we have in South Africa, he said to me, your standards are very high, Tulsi, and you need to increase the standards in South Africa, or your knowledge. And I agree, so I'm going to do that. So that was an interesting conversation. Ended up speaking to the guy in the end that I want to speak to. And then I was doing meditation just now, and usually when I do meditation and the phone rings and all that, I just ignore it. But then something said, take this call. I wasn't expecting a phone call anyway. And then I picked up the phone because it was from the private number, and it was the police. And the police just let me know they got my information, and that they might be late to send down my whole record of the 6 years of the history with my ex-partner. And they said they might not be able to post it to me, but they can email it to me. So lucky, because it was a private number, I wouldn't know where to have called back afterwards. Lucky I took it. These things are going really smooth. I feel a synchronicity happening here. So I'm feeling good. As you can see, I'm feeling good. I'm excited to go and eat Mum's curry. Yes. I was looking at my food on Thursday, my soup, and she've seen my face. I looked at my soup and I was like, I had enough of this. I really don't like the stuff I cook sometimes, because it's only me. And I seriously swear I was dying to eat Mommy's cooking for so long. She cooks. I'm telling you, the best Gujarati cooking I've ever ate in my historical life was hers. And I know now gratitude about her food. I'm going to have to put myself on a diet when I go, because eating mommy's food is, I'm going to tell you, when I'm going to eat mommy's food, you look at my skin in 10 days, or even in exactly 2 weeks, and you'll see, and you will tell me, and you'll go back to this video and you will tell me that, Tulsi, your skin is amazing. Mommy's cooking is like that. And then doing charity work. So now when I go home, you know what they say, charity begins at home. So I'm going to, this is what I said to myself, I'm doing charity work here in the UK. This connection wasn't going well, because in these 6 years, I moved home 6 times every year, running away from the work police and all this nonsense. And I wasn't running away from the government. They seem to think I was hiding from them, but really I was hiding away from the work police. I couldn't take it anymore, and I moved job, and move house, and move house, and move house. And that's over now, for a while, of course. So charity work, this charity work I was doing didn't really connect. I'm helping UK, not that there's a problem to help UK, and I was also helping Syria now and again with the blankets. Then I was I'm doing still the sponsorship of 2 kids in India and Ecuador, and I was helping Scope, because I felt, when I helped Scope, I thought about my uncle who had a disability, and I never really got to connect with that uncle properly, and he was in the US and he died. And when I decided to help Scope, I thought about him. And then I was helping Scope, I was helping British Red Cross, also giving the blankets in Syria. I'm still helping the 2 kids. I was helping domestic violence, refuge. I was helping protection of animals with WWF. I was doing Scope. I was doing, I'm still doing the community work with Meetup. I'm doing the language thing. I was doing a few, I can't remember, this is a list. But now I'm thinking, and when I was doing these things, I wanted to sponsor a child in Africa, but there wasn't that. When I asked them, can I sponsor a child in Africa or in South Africa, they said, we don't have the connection there. So I did feel like a bit shit that I couldn't help my own people in my own country, and I'm helping everyone else. And now I get the chance to, charity begins at home. First you help the people in your house, then you help a few people outside of your house in your extended family. You can't help the whole world, of course. You help where you can, and then you help your country, and then you help the nation, then you help the world. I think it goes like that. It makes sense like that. Yeah. So me going now, bye. Enough is enough. We'll be back soon, tomorrow.